Hi Homeschoolific family, it's Diana with Homeschoolific, and today I'm doing my 2021-2022 ninth grade homeschool choices for my dyslexic son. So I am going to show you what I can. Some things I won't be able to show you because they're either audiobook or online or something like that, but I'll also provide you links at the bottom. Okay, so for math, we use Math-U-See for him. We've used a variety of maths for him, and he didn't really struggle with math until a certain grade. I didn't realize his dyslexia was in his math really much at all because he didn't seem to struggle with it at all. And so I took him back pretty far back with Math-U-See. And it's been successful, so I have been pretty happy about that. But currently we're still using Math-U-See, and we think we'll continue with that with him. For dyslexic children, it works really well. These are the manipulatives, this box right here, and basically it just makes it so they can see how to build math, how math is built, I guess. So if you're interested in a review on Math-U-See directly, let me know. I know people that either love it or hate it, and I've actually had both feelings depending on the children. So it's very interesting, but it's working very well for us currently. For his, predominantly for his reading writing program, we use the Barton system. I have done a review on the Barton system. So this is a tutoring system for dyslexic children. I've also been told that Saxon Phonics is also very good. But everything comes together completely in this one for us. It works well, and so we use this for most of his reading and writing. And I'm saying most of his reading and writing because his science has a lot of reports and writing in it, and so he does do the reports in that. And this is done through our co-op, and this is called the biology. I'm sorry, it's called the Master's Book Curriculum, and it's biology. So this is from a Christian point of view, and I love this book. It is very in-depth, and to be perfectly honest, I was not happy with this choice at first. We signed up for the co-op, so I decided to honor the choice and just do the best we can. And while it is a lot of word, and sometimes it's very over my head because it's a master program, I have to say it's given me such a deeper respect for God's world. It's just amazing and very well written and beautiful, colorful pages too. It's a really good program, and I knew it was popular, but when I first looked at it, I didn't know why. And now as we've gone through it, or we're in it, I'm starting to get it and really enjoying it. We're really behind on our labs right now, but I think it's been very successful. I'm really happy with it. If we do co-ops again next year, and they decide to do the same company, I will be happy to stick with the company. It's a very good biology book, and we have not gotten bored. We have used other ones in the past and just got bored to tears. This has not been boring. Another thing that we use for his reading program, and I think I did a review on Sunlight. I've had 2 channels, so it's hard to remember what I've done. So if I did it, at some point I will do a review on Sunlight. So we intertwine some of the Sunlight into his reading as well. So like he's reading this right now. This is reading he'll do to himself with himself. But then books like The Case for the Creators for Kids, he and I will read it. This is a little young for him, I've noticed. It's really for a younger audience, but it does tackle some questions. I'm actually considering just going through the actual adult book with him because he's 14 and he's a 9th grader, and in a lot of ways he is mature and he gets concepts, and I found that he's just, wow, this is an excellent book that I will be happy to do with my younger child. My 14-year-old, it's not really going. And to be fair, the program that we have for Sunlight we've just slowly been going through it, but it was meant for him for 8th grade or something like that. It goes, there's a range. I think it goes up to 8th grade. And so obviously he's outgrown it in some ways, but because of his tutoring with the Barton program, they don't really encourage reading other books outside the Barton program as much, but I felt it was important. So we are doing it, and he's doing it well. I've been very impressed with how much he's been reading and how much he's been comprehending. Okay, so that leads us to history. History, he's doing this program. I'm just showing you guys some printouts here because we actually use the audiobook for this. It's Biblioplan, and it's done also through our co-op, and it's awesome. I've been thoroughly impressed with it. So the teacher gives questions for him to answers, and so he does this is another place where he does a report at. And he's also had to do a presentation with this, so that's been really nice. But he has to do a report with this and answer the questions and things like that. And so there is a fair amount of typing, just really finding the answers and typing them out. But we use the audiobook. Dyslexic children tend to do better with verbal if possible, and so that's something that we have strived to do as much as we can. It's also easier on me because it's less reading for me. I do enjoy doing some of the reading, like with our Sunlight. I read a book to them. We're not in one right this minute, but the plan is after the new year, I think we're going back into one of the books that I get to read to them, and I love these books. Anyways, biblio history, it's been wonderful. I do print out the pages just because they help me because I'm the opposite of him. Where I can learn pretty well audio, I need to see it and I need to feel the pages. I keep meaning to order the book. We're gonna be done with it by the time I order it, but the audiobook is really good. The reader is good. You know, sometimes he's listening to it and I'm working and I'm just like, oh my goodness, I didn't know that. And it's just been awesome. I 100% recommend this as a history program. It is so good. I really do, and I do like it. I know this sounds weird because this is also a history-based program, and I recommend this as well. I love it. But we decided to do it with our co-op because it was a little less off my plate for him, and he liked the idea of trying it. So we did, and we've been really happy with it. So I will also say that his teacher, Miss Becky, is absolutely amazing, and I do think that's a big part of it. But even without Miss Becky, as great as you are, I have enjoyed the book. I've enjoyed the style of reading, of the writing of the book. I've enjoyed the whole thing, the pictures, the maps that goes along with it, and then we do our maps with it. So as we're talking about it, he's finding things on the map, going through. We always try to also look at where we are right now and where these places are in association with us, to just try to get an idea. And then sometimes we'll even dive in a little bit more to learn more, because what the places were called or where they are now, you know, what the society was like back then, because this one is medieval times, will be very different than today. So if time allows us, then we get to do that, which is nice. And so I try to, a couple times a week, dive in with him on that, and then and I really enjoy it. I enjoy having things that I do with my kids that I enjoy too, that I grow from as well. And so that's kind of important to me. If I can do that, I love that. That makes me happy. I am, at my core, Charlotte Mason. You probably couldn't tell anymore, but I have my core of homeschooling. The homeschooling I chose when we decided to do homeschooling was Charlotte Mason. And a lot of it, I really just it still resonates with me. And where there's been areas I've had to tweak just because, you know, the times we live in now, I have found that my kids do learn for the sake of learning. And so I appreciate that. I love that. A couple things that we do is we do nature study, but it's not so formal. It's very informal. Living here in Texas, we have so many animals that, guys, it's amazing. It's utterly amazing. And then we have a saying here that, be like our family, that, you know, God does a new thing here. It's like, behold, I do a new thing, because there are creatures that I have never even heard of that are found here in Texas. It's amazing. So I got this book, The Nature of Texas, and it's been a really great book to get because we can look up animals as we find them in the area, and sometimes it's roadkill, but animals as we see them and we find them in the area, and we look them up and we learn about them. And so that has been really great. I also use an app called Picture This, and you go and you take a picture of some of the vegetation or plants or whatever, and it tells you about that plant. And so for us, that's something we like to walk around and do. Again, very informal, but it's a part of what we do. He also has an independent checklist, and you probably can't see that from here, but I will do my best. So basically, I tell him that he has about 45 minutes. I've laminated this so he can check it off, make sure he's got it all done, and then it translates to me to let me know he's got that, that it's all done. And so he has his independent math worksheet. So with math, you see there are videos that he gets to watch, and then I make sure he gets it. We do math drills together, and he pretty much does his worksheet by himself. I grade it. If he's got everything right, he's good. If he doesn't, then we discuss where he needed help and then work on those areas. He does typing, and so I found a good site that we've really been enjoying. It costs like $7 a month or something like that. I'll put a link in the description below. Any science that he can do on his own. We have been doing science pretty much completely together for a couple reasons. The information is very dense, and so I wanted to read it with him. Also, it helps me to know how to help him if I've been doing it with him. And then asking the questions. Honestly, I just didn't know how ready he was to do the quizzes on his own. So, because his teacher at co-op, these people are amazing. Like, they've set up these quizzes. It's it's a lot of work, and they've done it. Well, we were doing it, and he would average about a B, sometimes an A-. He's been doing on his own and blowing it out. Usually an A to a A+, like he's been blowing it out. So that's why I have whatever science you can do on your own. Some things he feels very confident about and he does it on his own and it's great. And some things he doesn't feel so confident about or he needs help on. And so sometimes if we've had heavy brain days, he needs a little more aid, and that's okay. I've been very impressed with how far he's come, and actually he's surpassed my expectations at this point. So whatever he can do, I take it. And then also doing the teacher, she set up for vocabulary words. So they go and they click on a place for vocabulary words. She sends videos to help them to understand the concepts. All that is things that he would do on his own for science. He will read, and that's where this book right here comes in. He's reading this book. If I can find it on audiobook, I do give him the audiobook version and have him read along with it. That is an excellent way to help dyslexic people, is to do it through both. So he does that. He journals to help him with his writing skills, because that is something that I'm really trying to work on developing. While he does do it with the Barton system, it's not at the level I would love. So we are doing more writing. And so he writes in his journal every day. Also, too, it's a good way to help him to get his emotions out. He's very much like his father. He looks like me, but he is so much like his father. And they really do well with getting their emotions out with writing, and their thoughts out. So I do that. I just look to make sure he wrote things. I don't read what he wrote because I want him to feel like it's a safe place for him. Life skills writing. So that sounds weird, but it can be a variety of things. Currently, we're just perfecting his signature. So making sure he writes well in cursive. We did cursive. It didn't go as great as I wanted it to, but all I needed him to know is how to read it and how to write in cursive, because I was told that most men don't write in cursive when they get older, and I thought that was weird because I still do write in cursive. Like if I'm writing my thoughts in a journal, it's in cursive. I don't know. Sometimes it's a combo, but I write in cursive, so I thought that was interesting. Any videos that I might have assigned him to, depending on what is going on, he will have videos. Also, he is at the age now where my husband has started working on his schooling. So my husband teaches him video, because in co-ops he also has a photography class that he's a part of. So so he is learning photography, but my husband also has him learning videography. So for our church, he's been doing video work and things like that. In addition, he's been learning how to make music through GarageBand and things like that. So my husband does Skillshare videos that he assigns him, and then he watches those videos. In addition to that, he's an aspiring actor, so he's trying to learn things about acting. He also is trying to work harder on learning the piano. He was in piano classes before, and so there might be whatever video is assigned to him at that point, he's going to watch that video, and then he can work on those things later. And then any independent history work, and as I said before, his history teacher has done all the questions and everything for them ahead of time. So we do the reading, and then he goes through and he answers the questions throughout the week. And it's set up in segments. She's done an excellent job with it. And then if I'm on my A game, I look at it before he turns it in. The last couple weeks I have not been, but I'm working on it. So outside of that, so let's see, let me make sure I got all his co-op classes. I'm gonna just list everything because it sounds like a lot. And it kind of is, but then it's not. So for his co-op classes, he has 4 classes. He has his history class, he has his science class, he has his photography class, and he's also taking a cooking class. I am big on my boys knowing how to cook, and I'm happy to say that all my boys do cook, and my 2 grown boys cook for themselves fairly well. So those are his 4 classes. And then these go along with that, along with the photography videos or whatever he has to do for that. He also has whatever my husband assigns him that they're working on. And that kind of stuff he kind of works on through the day. So we school from about 10 a.m. to 3:30 p.m. And he doesn't really work on my husband's assignments until later, unless it's like a video he's asked him to watch or something like that. Okay, so we have those 4 classes, and then the class that my husband does with him that is dealing with photography and videography. And then we have his reading, which is his Sunlight. And then we have his, I guess you could say, language arts, which is his Barton, his math, which is Math UC. We do nature study, which also goes with science. The only other thing that's missing, right, is our Bible study, and I guess you could say that's kind of with that, but we do that as a group together with my other son. And so all my boys, when they were all home, we did group time together, and it always included Bible study. And it's changed and morphed, and it's different. This year, I decided that we would do a variety of things, and so I love group time, and I do try to crunch a lot of things into it at one time. But currently, we're doing for Bible study, What's in the Bible with Buck Denver. If you've never watched it, I implore you to watch it. It's amazing. I think that even people who are not children should watch it, because it really boils down the Christian faith and brings it to just to the core, simple but powerful. Anyways, he's gone through it and everything, but my now 8-year-old has not. And so it's been a very useful tool for us to go through this again. My 9th grader, he has asked amazing, wonderful questions that he just didn't think to ask before. And they've been great conversation pieces with all of us to talk about. And because we do it at the table, at the eating dinner table, my husband often will chime in and be a part of it as well. Or my 3rd son, who is 18, and he's watched this. It was one of his favorite things to watch. We just subscribe to it's not Jelly Telly anymore. It's Manow, I think it is. I'll put a link in the description. And so we watch it. They have a special one on Christmas, so we just did the Christmas one. Anyway, it's really good. And then, so once we're finished with that, we also have a scripture that we're memorizing. And then I have them do certain things like memorization. For an example, I mean, this is with my younger child, but just like for an example, phone numbers and addresses and stuff like that. So we do things like that. We might, whatever math thing we need to work on that we can work on together. Like, I think it's always good to keep freshening up on skip counting and math drills and things like that. So we do those kind of things together, and we really enjoy it. And so we do that, and then I will incorporate a special. So every season of life has a special. And so in January, our special will be African American history. And so we will do that for a while in a set amount of time. And then we'll move over to the next one, which I don't remember what it is. But I have so many things that I want us to do together that what was happening is that group time was ending up to be an hour to an hour and a half. Well, I really only have about 30 to 45 minutes set aside for group time. So to keep our days from being too long, I had to just do specials. And so that's kind of been working so that I can get all the wonderful things I want to teach them in, but not go over. So that is what I'm using for my 9th grader for this school year. It sounds like it's ambitious when we say it out loud, but I actually think it's, throughout the day, it doesn't feel like that much. So thank you guys for watching. If you have any questions, please put them down in the comment section below. And if you have questions about homeschooling, you can see all those great links down in the description box below as well. And thank you for watching. Happy Vlogmas. We will see you guys tomorrow. Bye.